hearing the stories from this teacher, the impact he's had on lives for years. He's changed lives, and I don't know how you put a price tag on that. That's pretty impactful, pretty amazing.
Welcome to Herrimanology,
the official podcast to keep up with Herriman City.
We'll take you inside the city, explore the latest news and updates, show you how your government operates, and discuss the issues that affect us all. Now, here are your hosts talking all things Herriman on Herrimanology.
All right, welcome to Herrimanology. It is March Madness. Woo-hoo! Thursday, March 20th.
Go Cougs.
They are winning at the moment.
They are.
It's still the second half as of this podcast recording, so
hopefully it's still good news by the time this airs.
Hopefully they don't blow it again. They do have a track record of that.
Hey, come on now. Come on. The red team's not even in it this year. So.
We have a new head coach.
Every
We're
few
looking
years.
forward to.
Yes.
Touché. I'm John LaFollette, Communications Manager for Herriman City, joined today by Mary Palmer. How are you doing?
Good to be here.
Your bracket's still intact.
No. It's not, actually.
We're like 2 hours into this.
I know, it was.
A few more than that. But.
I did not pick Gonzaga. I think I did pick McNeese over Clemson.
Nice.
So that was my one.
So far, so good.
But I picked High Point.
Oh.
That was a popular Cinderella pick, and it did not go well.
You got to be bold sometimes, but...
That's the problem with being bold.
And a miss,
yes,
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, well.
But I'll tell you what, though, every year on the Thursday full of meetings. Like... The one time I want no meetings, I want to just go sit at Redemption and watch games all day. But
not
alas,
today.
Not today.
Oh, well, hopefully there's a good basketball watching in your near future.
In the future.
One thing that is coming up in the near future, how is that transition?
I like that. We're getting better at this.
A new bus line.
Oh,
so
yes.
We've talked about this before, but now it's getting to the point where they are getting ready to launch the new bus line. In fact, there was a question from Andrew this week. We'll talk about this. Andrew said, I was just wondering if you knew more about the new 126 bus route through Herriman. Online it says it starts April 14th. I'm paraphrasing some of this email here. It also says stops are 134th South, Sentinel Ridge, Salt Lake Community College campus, and the Herriman City Hall. However, I saw some blue metal posts that look like they could be bus stops near Slackwater. Is that going to be a stop also? And please thank whoever in the city who has been pushing for this. So, yes, Andrew, they are installing poles right now. You'll see them at a number of places throughout that route on both sides of the street because they go both directions, and those will become bus stops soon. They also are installing some poles for route markers. Those are just visual aids for the bus drivers at major intersections. They make sure they go at the right spot. But yeah, that's coming up pretty soon. UTA's, they call it change day,
right?
When they kind of implement all these new routes is April 13th. This bus route, we're told, starts on the 14th, the Monday.
Right.
So
coming
up pretty quick.
We're excited. Yep. That's confirmed that yesterday with UTA that they might not have all the stops in, but they'll have some sort of signage by that day, even if it's temporary, working towards permanent, because there's a lot of stops. They're all new stops out here, but we're excited. It'll be good. So,
yeah. As of now, they'll be running about every hour, and we're told in the future that could increase in frequency depending on ridership. That's just kind of how they plan and operate. But so far, there's enough demand that they're putting in a new bus line here.
Yep.
So
good sign.
Also want to mention next week there's they called a mobile office for Representative Burgess Owens. We put this on our social media. I think there might have been some confusion about what the function of this thing is. So in addition to just noting it in general, I wanted to clarify it seems a few times a year, the staff from Congressman Burgess Owens comes to rent out a conference room at the City Hall. They do this at a number of places too throughout the area. They have a staff member answer questions and help you through processes with federal agencies. It's usually just a one-on-one meeting in a conference room. It's kind of a simple thing. I think there was some confusion, maybe thinking it was a town hall setting.
Right.
I want to clarify it's not that.
Right.
You can always email the representative, but as far as the mobile office goes, that'll be for a couple hours during the day next Wednesday here at the City Hall. Yeah,
it just helped with things like passports. He's helped a few people with his team's helped a few people with passport issues. That's what it's about. He's not sending his staff to not, for him not to be there. This is just his staff doing their job, right? That's what our congressman's supposed to do, is help residents through federal issues. So that's what this is.
Yeah. So you are. They did tell us you can ask questions like policy related things. If they'll forward it on to Congressman Owens, but that's not meant to be the forum. There is a question answer town hall sort of thing.
Right.
So just wanted to clarify that, and that'll be next Wednesday, 2:30 to 4:30, in one of the first floor conference rooms.
Yep.
One more item to note coming up next month is the annual spring cleanup. So that's April 15th through the 19th at Butterfield Park, Herriman.gov/cleanup. You can find all the information. One new thing they're doing this year to try to speed things up a little bit and help verify that only Herriman residents are doing this. So this is meant for our community.
Yep.
Is every resident's being mailed a postcard that's just kind of advertising this. You've probably gotten one in the past, but they'll use that postcard and I think stamp it or something when you have come through and dumped off the load there to make sure that people who are getting the postcard, Herriman residents, are the ones that are using this opportunity.
I like that. Great.
So if you have any issues, let us know. There are always some random things that slip through the cracks. For the most part, everybody gets a postcard, but sometimes weird things happen in the mail. So if you have any issues, just let us know. If you're not a Herriman resident, you shouldn't be getting one of those.
Right.
But anyway, just to be aware of that.
Great.
And a few things from last night's Planning Commission meeting. There were several approvals. One was for a new pump station, which doesn't really get people excited. I don't think. It gets our engineers very excited.
Yes, it does.
But over on the South Hillside, just implementing some water infrastructure for the growth that's going to be coming there.
Right.
And then a few spots for some new businesses. One that's, I think it was just a plat subdivision approval to create lots for more businesses. And there's one that over down on Porter Rockwell Boulevard-ish that will be something coming in soon as well.
Yep. Usually those are both that subdivision. That's usually in preparation. That usually means somebody's coming. Something's coming. So this is always an exciting first step over there behind the Zions Bank building.
So we call that, at least internally, the garden plots.
Yes.
I don't think anybody outside of this building calls it that.
We don't know why either, but
Just things get named in really funny ways. A lot of the times I feel like subdivisions are named just some random thing in some random meeting and it sticks, and then that's what ends up on a street sign.
it's true.
It's kind of how fires get named. People often wonder that. Most of the time, it's the first firefighter arrives on scene. They're calling somebody else, and they just kind of name it something, and that becomes the name of the fire.
That's funny.
So,
yeah.
Anyway, wanted to shout out to a local educator.
Absolutely. We've actually been recognizing quite a few educators lately with the Jordan Education Foundation, but this one was a little bit separate, and this was Randall Kammerman over at Herriman High. It's funny because he just got an award for his involvement with the DECA group. He sends a record number of DECA students to nationals every year. So he just was recognized 2 weeks ago for a DECA, award. And this week, the Utah Jazz, they have 10 most valuable educator awards they present. And so he was chosen as one of those 10 from the entire state. He was nominated by peers and from students. His students love him. I put it out there on my social media this week, and the comments about number of people that love this teacher, Mr. Kammerman, is unbelievable. So showed up with the Jazz Bear, gave him some, there's a cash award, and then he got to be, a pretty good seat at the Jazz game Monday night and recognized for what he does. So we've got great educators in our community, and just so grateful, and congratulations, Mr. Kammerman. So.
You can never thank educators enough. That's one of those jobs where people just work so hard, have such limited resources, work after hours, long hours, weekends, doing lesson plans and grading and just doing all sorts of things. And some people do the coaching of different groups, teams. That's a tough job. And I know that a lot of educators are very passionate about their job, but it's still something you can always thank an educator, never thank them enough.
Hearing the stories from this teacher, the impact he's had on lives for years, because, he's changed lives, and I don't know how you put a price tag on, that's pretty impactful, pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, maybe we'll end on that for the week. Nice positive note. So if you have any questions or comments, leave a comment or email us a question, communications@herriman.gov. We'll be happy to answer it in an upcoming episode. Did want to mention, too, we're not ready to publish it quite yet, but we will be having an update on the athletic complex soon.
Yes.
That's reached a checkpoint. I guess. There's an updated proposal. Again, I'm not meaning to just tease this for the next week's episode. We're just not quite ready to say it publicly yet, but the proposal is adapting a little bit, and it'll hit the Planning Commission. As of now, we're planning the April 2nd Planning Commission meeting, and you'll see agendas and notices and everything for that. But just wanted to give people a heads up for that.
Absolutely.
So, okay, Mayor Palmer, thanks for joining.
Go Cougs. Let's go find out.
Go Aggies, and Utes will get us. We'll be there next
year. Next year.
Thanks for listening and watching. We will catch you next time.